Hey students, Mark Ferrier here. That's me right here. This video is going to go over our Writing 102 course. So a couple things to get started here. I'm going to begin with kind of the syllabus and how to navigate. But just note here that with this announcement here, the video you're watching, this is going to be the first video posted, but there is a second video here in the announcement, a little Google slide video. Go ahead and make sure you watch this if you're not familiar with navigating D2L. All right, so one of the first things you're going to want to do once you've gotten into our course is make sure you take a look at that syllabus. You can click on the syllabus link right here, and I'll walk through a few key details of this syllabus just so you know. There's hot links here that can take you through different parts of it, but there's lots of useful information to kind of keep in mind about this course. One of the first things I want to note is please be aware that partially completed assignments usually won't be accepted for grading. For example, if you only write the first two paragraphs of an essay, that won't be enough to be considered for grading. So you do need to complete assignments in order to have them be considered for grading. The other one that I kind of want to point to is we've got a very unique or likely possibly a unique late work policy that you might not be used to. So just be sure that there are two dates here. A due date for all assignments and then an end date for all assignments. So the end date, or sometimes called the available until date, I'll point to this in one of our very specific assignments, but just know you have a date where the assignment is due, then that assignment will stay open for about 3 days where you can still submit after 3 days of that due date. And then it will close within 3 days. So as long as you submit within that 3-day window before the end date or the available until date, you will still get full points. But just note, any work that's submitted after the due date, that could be graded as late as towards the end of the semester. That gets deprioritized. You might not get feedback for it. So make sure you get it in by that due date if you want everything graded on time and you want that some feedback for the assignments that get feedback. Okay, a little AI policy down there, and then also note for attendance here, your attendance gets graded weekly. There will be a due date every week. If you turn it in late, and I see that you haven't turned in by the due date, you may be marked absent, but because this attendance policy grades you weekly, the following week I'll see that you turned it in and I'll change that to present and you'll be marked present again. Okay, so that's the syllabus. What you're going to want to do, let's go back to the home page here, is actually I'm going to go into student view so I'll see everything that as you see it. What you're going to do is, after you've read the syllabus, you're going to go to content here, and once you're under content, you're going to start here on the start here module. All of our modules here are on the left side and they start top to bottom. The very first assignment is the start here module. So when you click on start here, you'll see the syllabus materials. There's some information here for you on using learning centers, ChatGPT AI, information on me, the course, and so on. You've already read the syllabus, so what you're going to then do once you've reviewed that information is start with the first assignments under Start Here. So again, that's under the Start Here module. If you go to Content, Start Here, and you'll see the Start Here assignments. You have 3 assignments for this first module. So note here is where you see that due date and the available until date, or the end date for every assignment. It has it due and available until. So that means, again, just to reiterate, this assignment, you can turn it in. You should turn it in by June 13th, but you can turn it in as late as June 16th, and you can do your replies by June 16th also. Okay, note that every assignment will have a video instruction, so I'm not going to walk through how to do each individual assignment. If you want information on how to do an individual assignment, click on that assignment and watch the video. All right, and so the first 3 assignments here, course contract, online, or orientation to online learning is your next one, due June 13th. This course contract that's due on the first day, make sure you take that. It's actually just going to cover, it's a quiz contract that's going to cover information in the syllabus, and make sure you understand. If you don't understand, email me. So it should be pretty clear when you take that. After that, you're going to do the orientation to online learning. Here's a little video about that assignment. Take a screenshot of your certificate and turn that in. And then the first assignment and the last assignment for the module is the introductions discussion, and you're going to go through and you're going to complete that assignment, and then you have completed the start here. So I just want to make a quick note about our calendar function here. We're going to go to the home page. Here on this home page, you'll see the calendar. I recommend you use this as the way to kind of track assignments. But again, you've got several different options, especially if you're using the app. Just note that in the app, let me go back to the assignments here. If you're using the app or the mobile site, you really want to pay attention to these due dates and the end dates. All right, they may show up differently depending on where you are. Sometimes it's called an end date, and sometimes it's called the available until date. Just make sure you're clear when the assignment is due and when the assignment closes. Also, on this home page, when you're using the calendar function here, see I just clicked on the drop down menu here, and that gives me a calendar, and then also some upcoming events. Within these upcoming events here, you can see I've got the, if I click on a certain day, so let's say here I click on Wednesday the 12th. When I click on Wednesday the 12th, it'll show the course contract is due. If I were to click on Monday the 17th, you can see reading review activity due and so on. So this is useful to kind of give you a very quick overview. However, if you click on the calendar link itself, when you go into the calendar link, you've got a couple views here. I recommend agenda, month, or list view. If you go into day or week, for example, let's go into the week view. Let's go into the week view for an assignment. Notice that it's not very useful because all of our assignments are due at 11:59. They'll only show up down here. But if you go into month view, you can kind of get an overview of the assignments and how they work. So you see here is that overview. Also note the agenda or the list view might be useful for you. This will show you the due dates, not the dates they close. So you'll have to click on the individual assignment, or sorry, the individual assignment. There you go, due and end. All right, so that will tell you when it is due and then when it closes. Let's go back here. So when you're in that list view, one of the things that this is useful for also is just kind of giving you an overview, but I did want to make a very important note. Note that even though, let's say, this discussion is due on June 13th, you don't want to wait till June 13th. If you go into month view, you can see there are certain days you're going to have 2 assignments due on June 18th. So even though they're due then, don't use June 18th, the due date, as the I'm going to start the assignment date. If you have an assignment that's due on the 18th, check the calendar, know that you've got 2 assignments due. You're likely going to want to start them the week before, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even finish them up on Monday, so you're ready to turn them in on Tuesday. So you, especially with this condensed schedule for an 8-week class, you really want to make sure that you get ahead of the schedule and don't fall behind, and don't use the due dates as a start the assignment date. Use those due dates. Know that you need a couple days before those due dates to complete those assignments. All right. So for this first module, you have 3 assignments: that course contract, the orientation to online learning, and the introduction to discussions. You can find those under Start Here. Make sure you review that syllabus, and then when you complete those 3 assignments, you will have completed the first Start Here module, and you'll be ready to move on to module 1 down here next. Okay, so if you have questions about anything I went over or anything else, let me know.